And welcome to Angie's DIY. And what we have here is a drop leaf table, and I think this is oak. They're asking $40 for this table, and I think that's going to be a good price for the purpose we're going to use it for. We'll look underneath here and see how well it's built. It's got a third leg or fifth leg in the middle there. Beautiful patina on the wood. We're not going to change that very much. Some really cool fasteners. Watch how this leaf comes up. It's just got a little wedge that you pull out. There it is. It's just a little wedge that pulls out and holds up that leaf. Here's a better view of it turned upside down on the back of the truck. And look at this tongue and groove block system. That is a lot of wood under that table. You can really see the craftsmanship on this table. I don't want to mess it up too bad or change it too much. But what we're looking for is two very narrow tables to go in the foyer at the church, because we don't want to block the bathrooms. The bathrooms are also in that foyer, so they need to be very narrow. Look how pretty that wood is. Flathead screws, that tells the age some. Little porcelain knobs on the pull-out wedges for the drop leaves. Okay, got it inside here, and I'm using a little stubby flathead screwdriver. I didn't want to use my power tools on there and take a chance of busting the wood. And I am saving those screws to make sure we use the same screws. And we will save that for another project. Look at there, there's a little wedge on how they assembled that. They used a little wedge to keep it together. Russell's making me a bag to put the screws in, or any hardware that I don't want to lose. See the little latches? They had those on each side. Definitely don't want to lose those. Okay, now, wait, do you see? This is crazy. I bet you could put maybe 8 to 10 chairs around this table if you had all the leaves to go in the middle. It is huge. I think that's probably maybe a 6-foot table underneath. And there's my bag I'm showing you for the screws. Yeah, that's a 6-foot folding table. Look, it's bigger than that 6-foot table. When you stretch it all the way out, it's longer than that table. And how genius it was the way they made it with that one leg in the middle. I'm just looking at it in awe. Some people are so smart when they're making things like this. It's just amazing. And of course it did not come with the leaves, so that's not going to be usable. But I'm going to save that wood, and I'll probably do some other projects with it. And this is, like I said, it's like a tongue and groove or a block and slide type system, so it just popped right out. And I did want to leave those pieces in for a little extra support, but they were too long. I watched this pop right out. And we do the same on the other side as well. Okay, look at all that wood. We'll make something else with that for sure. There was an extra nail in there. I'm not sure what that nail was in there for. Oh, now I know why that nail was there. That was to stop the block for the leaf that drops down from going all the way through. Okay, I'll have to put something back there. I'm getting the saw and the screwdriver set up, and I'm going to measure that to make it flush with the end of that table, with the end of that wood. I'm not worrying about being too precise here. I just don't want to go past the edge of the table. It's okay if it's a little bit short, but then I decided I do need to take them off to cut them because that was not going to be too safe to try to cut it with it attached to that tabletop. And surprisingly, those screws came out pretty good. I've got my mark there. And Russell's telling me to go the other way because he sees that I'm not able to hold it too steady to the left, so he wants me to go to the right. And it did work better. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. There's probably years and years of food and greasy hands. Let's clean that up a little bit with the sander and replace that back using those screws. I probably should have put a little wood glue on there, but you always think about the cool things afterwards, don't you? I say this whole project probably didn't take an hour and a half, maybe. I don't even know if it took an hour and a half. I want to make sure I get it right back in the same place. Because like I said, I do not want to crack that wood. Alright, I think I got it now. Good. Okay, I pulled that nail out. I should have left that nail in there. I didn't know what it was for. Okay, let's see, can we do the other side as well? And somewhere down the road, if somebody wants to take these two tables and put them back together, I don't think they would really have a hard time doing it. I don't think it's ruined. because I still have the other wood, the blocks, but they're, like I said, the leaves didn't come with it, so we couldn't use it for that, what it was intended for originally anyway. Okay, that's how it's finished. We just need to clean it up. I'm not going to change the color of the wood that much. I am going to use some antiquing wax. But antiquing wax really just makes it look cleaner in my opinion. Underneath here, see, we're just cleaning it up some. I'm not sure what that little metal piece up there at the top is either, but I'm going to leave it because I'm not sure what it's for. But I'm going to leave it on there because it looks interesting. These feet were a lot darker than the rest of the table, and I did consider stripping those to bring the color up. But after I finished and everything was finished, it looked okay, so I just left it that way. But later on, I may go back and do something different to the feet, clean them up a little more. You could tell they had been repaired in years past. So if I would have sanded it down too much, you would have been able to see that repair on the feet down there. Alright, let's give it another good clean. Look how pretty it is now, just with putting a cleaner on it. Alright. Let's flip it over. Now on the corner of this table here, there was some damage. So I did have to sand that a little bit more than I really wanted to. And you see there's a crack too all the way down that middle. So later on, if somebody really wanted to refinish it back to its best life, they could repair that crack, sand it all the way down, and then restain it. But for now, we're going to just try to keep it as close to the way it looked when we bought it. Yeah, you can really see that crack down the middle. I don't know if that was intentional or... Okay, let's wipe it down real good. When you sand like that, you really do need to wipe it down good because you don't want to get the old dust under your sander, because then that will dig into your wood. Okay, I'm going to cover this table because I don't want to get that antique and wax on that white table. It was just too windy to work outside that day, so I took it down to the fellowship hall to work on it. Okay, that's just some antique and wax, and I'm going to water it down a little bit. And I always use paper plates when I use. I don't like to dip out of the bottle. I always put it on a paper plate. This bottle was almost out, so I just added a little bit of water to it. And I think that little bit of water gave me enough to do that whole thing. It doesn't take much. Now it probably looks like it here. Looks like it's going to make a big difference, but hang on, you'll see. Once I wipe that back, it'll just look clean. It doesn't add a whole lot of color to it. It kind of fills in some of the scratches. And I didn't leave it on there a long time either because I really didn't want to change the color that much. See how that does? Look at that. That's pretty. Now when you consider we paid $40 for the whole table, now we got 2 tables, so $20 each. That's not too bad. And next year, if we get tired of it, we won't feel like we've wasted a lot of money. Only paid $20 a piece for them. So we can change them up if we find something nicer. You can tell a little bit on that top part up there that it's not as shiny, but I think it'll be okay. Just wipe all that off and then let it dry overnight. And here we go. There they are. They're half tables that connect to the wall, like I said, because we needed for them to be very narrow. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up button, all the things. And we sure would appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.